San Diego Global Knowledge University.
Introduction. Hello and welcome. In a world where things are global, markets are open, and customers expect more and more, companies have to show that their products and services always meet quality standards that are known all over the world. Being good at what you do isn't just about making good products or giving good service anymore. It's also about managing things in a planned way, stopping mistakes, always getting better, and building trust with customers, suppliers, and everyone else involved. Because of this, international management standards, especially the ISO 9000 family of rules, have become a main way to make organizations better and help companies join national and international markets. They are important because they give a way to manage processes, encourage leadership, write down important activities, check how well things are doing, and create a culture that always tries to improve. In this chapter, we'll look at the basics of quality management systems and how ISO 9000 grew to be an international standard that any organization can use, no matter what they do. We'll check out the main ideas behind putting it into practice, how important top management is, why managing by process is key, and the organizational maturity model as a guide to slowly make management better. We'll also think about why getting certified should be seen as the start of a never-ending learning process, not the final goal for a company. The goal of this study is to understand that quality is a way of managing that uses people's involvement, focuses on the customer, leadership, and always getting better. From this point of view, international standards are no longer just something you need to compete in global markets. They become smart tools that help build companies that are more efficient, new, and ready to handle the challenges of a business world that is always changing. Let's begin. The increasing globalization of markets has deeply changed how organizations compete and build business relationships. Nowadays, companies are part of international supply chains where trust, quality, and consistent processes are essential to stay competitive. In this situation, international management standards play a key role by giving everyone a common language. This helps organizations from different countries work together. These standards set the same rules for checking processes, building trust between customers and suppliers, and lowering trade barriers between countries. Among these, the ISO 9000 family of standards stands out as one of the most widely used and recognized international models for quality management. Before ISO 9000 was created, each country used its own rules to check quality systems. This meant that organizations working in international markets had to meet many different national requirements. This led to higher costs, repeated checks, and made it hard to show that their processes were reliable. ISO 9000 was created to bring these rules together and provide an international framework that would make business relationships easier and strengthen global competition. The ISO 9000 family is made up of different standards that have specific roles within quality management systems. Historically, some focused on product design and development, others on production or final inspection, while others provided guidelines for understanding and implementing the system or driving continuous improvement. Although current versions have integrated these approaches into a unified structure, understanding their evolution helps us grasp the development of international management systems. One of the main contributions of ISO 9000 is that it broadens the traditional idea of quality. For many years, quality was only about checking finished products. The standard suggests a complete view where quality depends on all organizational processes working together, from figuring out what the customer needs to after-sales service. This way, quality is no longer just the production department's job, but a shared commitment for the whole organization. Another key feature is that it's generic. ISO 9000 wasn't just made for manufacturing companies. It's for any organization that manages processes aimed at meeting the needs of its customers or users. So its principles can be used in industries, service companies, financial institutions, hospitals, universities, government agencies, and many organizations in different sectors. The standard doesn't tell you exactly how to operate, but it gives general principles that each institution can adjust to its own situation. The growing international acceptance of ISO 9000 has made certification a frequent requirement for establishing business relationships. In many sectors, a certified system provides objective evidence that the organization manages its processes in a controlled and consistent manner. As a result, certification has stopped being just a distinguishing factor and has become a common requirement within international supply chains. Organizations implement ISO 9000 mainly driven by three factors: their customers' demands, the need to strengthen their competitiveness, and the interest in improving their internal processes through more structured management. In all cases, the goal goes beyond obtaining the certificate and seeks to consolidate a more efficient organization focused on continuous improvement. Although the standard was initially associated with manufacturing companies, its application in service organizations has shown equally relevant results. Educational institutions are a representative example, as processes such as curriculum design, student admission, provision of educational services, learning assessment, and student support can be managed using the same management principles. This shows that the effectiveness of the system depends on the proper management of processes and not on the type of organization. The success achieved by ISO 9000 drove the development of other international standards, such as the ISO 14000 family, which focuses on environmental management. This evolution shows a new way of thinking about being competitive, where organizations are judged not just by how good their products and services are, but also by how well they manage the environment, their social responsibility, and their ability to create lasting value.
Using international standards shouldn't just be seen as a way to meet market demands. Their main contribution is providing management structures that make an organization more disciplined, improve how processes work together, make decision-making easier, and encourage a culture that always aims for improvement. So, getting certified stops being the main goal of the system and instead becomes proof of the organization's dedication to quality and excellent operations. Putting in place a quality management system based on ISO 9000 is a process of changing an organization that needs to fit the specific traits, needs, and development level of each institution. There isn't just one way to do it, because every organization has different levels of maturity in their processes, staff experience, and how formal their procedures are. So, the system's success depends less on its size or industry and more on the organization's commitment to quality, continuous improvement, and people's involvement.
Every implementation process must start with the commitment of top management. It's up to the executives to make quality a key goal, give the necessary resources, and create the right environment to fit the system into the company's culture. When certification is just seen as a business requirement, efforts often only focus on passing audits and creating paperwork. But when quality is part of the company's main plan, the system becomes a tool to make processes better, improve performance, and create value for customers. Every company starts this process from different places. Some have documented processes and trained staff, while others are just beginning to make their activities formal. That's why it's really important to do an initial checkup to understand the company's current situation, find its strengths, and create an implementation plan that fits its needs. So, the time and money needed depend on how mature the existing processes are. One of the most common myths is thinking that ISO 9000 can only be used in big companies. However, experience shows that small and medium-sized businesses can also put it in place with great results. In many cases, their simpler structures help with communication, cut down on paperwork, and make implementation faster. The size of the company doesn't stop it from building an effective management system. Also, ISO 9000 doesn't require specific technologies or high levels of automation. The standard focuses on how an organization manages its processes, documents its procedures, and ensures its results are consistent. Technology is a big help in making things more efficient, but quality really depends on how organized the company is and how well it manages its processes. To play in global markets, you need to show that your processes are reliable using standards that are known all over the world. Even though ISO 9000 isn't a legal must-have for international trade, in many industries it's become a widely accepted requirement for doing business. Certified organizations build more trust with customers and suppliers, make the selection process less uncertain, and get a stronger competitive spot in international supply chains. New standards like the ISO 14000 family have made management systems bigger by adding an environmental side, using ideas similar to ISO 9000. This compatibility makes it easier to combine different systems related to environmental management, safety, workplace health, and social responsibility, which helps create a broader and more sustainable view for the organization. The certification process needs independent groups to check if the rules are being followed. Picking the right certification group is a big decision. Their good name, experience in the field, and how well known they are around the world directly affect how much people trust the system and how confident customers and business partners feel. International standards are always changing to meet new needs of companies and markets. The newest versions of ISO 9000 have made things like focusing on the customer, leadership, managing processes, checking how well things are done, and always getting better, even stronger. This change shows a shift in focus. The system isn't just about checking if procedures are followed anymore. It's about making the company better at creating value and always being able to adjust to changes around it. Getting the ISO 9000 certificate isn't the end of the road. The system needs to be kept up through internal checks, regular reviews, looking at performance numbers, and making improvements that steadily make the company work better. When this way of thinking becomes part of the company's culture, quality isn't just a temporary project. It becomes the permanent way the company runs things. Organizations that successfully implement ISO 9000 understand that quality doesn't just depend on documented procedures. Their main strength lies in building a culture based on leadership, people's involvement, process management, and continuous improvement. In this context, certification is only an external proof that the system works. The real value is in the ability to learn, adapt, innovate, and get consistent results to boost customer satisfaction and competitiveness. Implementing a quality management system based on ISO 9000 is the first step towards organizational excellence. Certification shows that an organization has developed documented and controlled processes. However, it doesn't by itself guarantee high levels of performance or a lasting competitive advantage. Its true potential is reached when the management system is used to strengthen organizational learning, build a process-oriented culture, and encourage continuous improvement. One of the most common mistakes is thinking that getting the certificate is the final goal of the system. This view limits the scope of the standard by focusing efforts on meeting audit requirements. In reality, ISO 9000 provides the foundation for managing processes consistently, setting clear responsibilities, and developing ongoing mechanisms for learning and innovation. Certification should be seen as the start of a continuous process of organizational evolution. Many organizations operate with a reactive approach, putting a lot of their money and effort into fixing problems, correcting mistakes, and dealing with urgent situations. This way of doing things makes costs go up and makes it harder to plan for the future. On the other hand, an organization that focuses on processes tries to stop problems before they happen by writing things down, making things standard, saying who is responsible for what, and putting checks in place to make sure results are always the same. Reducing how much things vary is one of the main goals of a management system. When the same task is done differently each time, there are more mistakes, more work that has to be redone, and more waste. Making things standard helps to reduce this variability without taking away flexibility, because processes can include choices that have been set up beforehand to deal with different situations, while keeping the results consistent. The journey to becoming an organization that focuses on processes can be understood using the process maturity model, which shows 5 steps of development. Level 1. Process and owner identification. The first level is about finding the most important processes and giving someone the job of taking care of each one. When you know what each process is for, where it starts and ends, and what steps are involved, it helps make sure everyone knows their part and improves how different parts of the company work together. Level 2. Documentation and standardization. After we know what the processes are, the next step is to write them down in a clear way. We use things like procedures, flowcharts, and other tools to show what goes in, what activities happen, what checks are in place, and what results we expect. This documentation isn't just for show, it's to create a common way of working. This helps reduce differences, makes training easier, and gives us a starting point for making things better in the future. Level 3. Training and consistent application. The written procedures only work well if people understand and correctly follow the steps. Training makes sure that processes are done the same way every time. At the same time, it helps us find ways to improve by listening to the people who do the work every day. So training also helps the whole company learn and grow. Level 4. Performance measurement. Once processes are stable, the organization can objectively assess its performance using indicators. These should measure both the internal functioning of processes and the results perceived by customers. Combining both approaches allows for timely detection of deviations, facilitates decision-making, and strengthens preventive management. Level 5. Continuous improvement. The highest level corresponds to establishing a permanent culture of continuous improvement. The organization uses information obtained through indicators to identify optimization opportunities, implement changes, and evaluate their results. Each improvement is then incorporated into documentation, training programs, and control mechanisms, ensuring that advancements endure over time. Evolving to higher levels of maturity requires leadership committed to organizational transformation. Top management must provide resources, periodically review process performance, and promote active staff participation in identifying improvement opportunities. Leadership moves beyond merely overseeing procedures and focuses on creating the necessary conditions to strengthen learning and innovation. Finally, every improvement effort should be aimed at creating value for the customer. Processes make sense to the extent that they consistently satisfy the needs and expectations of those who receive the products or services. Therefore, performance evaluation should consider both compliance with procedures and customer perception, as well as the organization's ability to respond effectively to their requirements. The most competitive organizations understand that excellence is not a permanent state, but a continuous process of learning, evaluation, innovation, and improvement. ISO 9000 provides the structure to develop this process. It is up to each organization to keep it alive through leadership, participation, measurement, and commitment to continuous improvement. The implementation of a quality management system based on ISO 9000 does not end with obtaining certification. On the contrary, that moment marks the beginning of a stage aimed at consolidating an organizational culture where continuous improvement, leadership, and customer orientation become permanent management principles. Organizations that see certification as just one goal often find their performance slowly drops. But those who see it as the start to making their processes stronger keep learning, creating new things, and making their organization better all the time. Getting a certificate from a certifying body shows that you meet the rules. But the most important thing is still how happy your customers are. A company can have a certificate but lose out if its products or services stop meeting what the market needs. Also, companies that already have high quality can find new ways to get better during the certification process. So, certification helps with market checks, but it doesn't take their place. One of the biggest dangers is thinking the work is done once you get the certificate. When that happens, people stop trying to get better, and things start to fall apart. To stop this, top management needs to set new goals, check how things are going often, and help the organization grow and get better all the time. Every audit, every number, and every chance to improve should be used to make the company work better and more efficiently. The strength of the system really depends on good leadership. Top management shouldn't just give out resources, but also get involved in setting goals, checking results, and encouraging a company culture that cares about quality. When this commitment is clear, employees understand that quality is a big strategic goal, not just some extra paperwork. The ideas behind ISO 9000 can work just as well for companies that make things as they do for service organizations. Universities, hospitals, hotels, government offices, and service companies all manage processes that aim to create value for their users. In all these situations, the management system helps find important processes, write down how things are done, set who is responsible for what, check the results, and make services better. This shows how useful the standard is everywhere. How good an organization is also depends on the knowledge and experience of the people who do the work every day. So, the documents that explain processes shouldn't just be made by managers or outside consultants. When employees help design and update these procedures, it makes the documents better, helps people feel more connected to the company, and helps the company learn by including improvement ideas from everyone. Staff training is a must-have to make sure the system works. But training only helps if it's part of a plan from the top bosses and if it's about what the work really needs. When leaders, training, and teamwork come together, it makes the system strong and builds a true culture of quality. The way international rules have changed shows that quality is just one part of how well a company does. Rules like ISO 14000 make this bigger by adding environmental management, using the same way of thinking with processes, leadership, checking things, and always getting better. Putting these systems together little by little helps build better ways to manage things and respond better to what different groups want. Managing by processes helps companies focus on the things that really give customers value. This way of doing things helps use resources better, makes different parts of the company work together more smoothly, and makes it easier to react quickly to what the market needs. So, quality isn't just about following rules anymore. It becomes a smart tool to make more value for customers, employees, and other important groups. International experience shows that the most successful organizations understand quality as a management philosophy and not just as a requirement to get a certification. Excellence is built through committed leadership, active participation of people, process management, performance measurement, and continuous improvement. ISO 9000 provides the framework to develop these capabilities. It is up to each organization to keep the system alive through a permanent attitude of learning and innovation. Consequently, certification represents only the beginning of a process of organizational evolution where each improvement strengthens competitiveness, increases customer satisfaction, and consolidates organizations capable of successfully responding to the challenges of a constantly transforming global environment. Conclusion. Studying international quality management standards helps us understand that how competitive a company is depends more and more on its ability to manage processes in a systematic way, get consistent results, and quickly respond to what customers need. In this situation, the ISO 9000 family of standards is a guide that goes beyond just meeting technical rules. It gives us a way to make organizations stronger through good leadership, everyone working together and always getting better. Throughout this chapter, it became clear that putting a quality management system in place needs more than just writing down procedures or getting ready for certification audits. Its success relies on top management always being committed, employees actively taking part, and quality being a key part of the company's culture. Managing by processes, making activities standard, training staff, and checking with indicators are all very important for reducing differences, making things more efficient, and helping the company learn and grow. We also looked at how certification should be seen as just the start of a continuous journey for a company to grow. The process maturity model shows that companies slowly get better, from just finding and writing down their processes, to having a strong culture where they always measure how well they're doing and try to improve. This growth helps turn a management system into a powerful tool for new ideas, making smart choices, and giving more value to customers and other important groups. Another important thing is how flexible these international standards are. They can be used in factories, service companies, schools, hospitals, government offices, and any place that manages processes to meet what their users need. This ability to fit different situations shows that quality isn't about what kind of company it is, but about how carefully it manages its processes and how much the company is committed to being excellent. Altogether, the topics we've talked about lead us to the conclusion that international management standards are a way to build stronger, more competitive, and lasting organizations. The real strength of ISO 9000 isn't just getting a certificate, but in its power to create a company culture where leadership, focusing on the customer, managing based on processes, and always getting better are permanent ways of doing things. Because of this, companies that use this way of thinking are better prepared to learn, come up with new ideas, and change with the world around them. building lasting advantages in a global market that's always changing and asking for more.
San Diego Global Knowledge University, education beyond boundaries.